Over the course of NASCAR history, there are some championship seasons that will without a doubt stand the test of time and go down as some of the best championship seasons in NASCAR history. But every once in a while, we'll get a championship winning season that's just underwhelming and leaves everyone feeling like he wasn't the best that season. So today, we're going to take a look at the 5 best championship winning seasons of all time and the 5 worst, and who should have won them. Now, let me start by saying, just because I put someone down for a subpar championship season does not mean that they don't deserve it. At the end of the day, these drivers won the championship under the rules they were given. Therefore, they deserve that championship. Best, Jimmie Johnson, 2006. Now, I could have put down his 2013 season or 2009 and maybe even 2007. But the one title that is the most impressive to me is 2006. In the 06 regular season, he and Matt Kenseth were in an all-out battle, swapping the lead every other week. But when the chase rolled around, Johnson struggled. In the opening 4 races, Johnson had finishes of 39th, 13th, 14th, and 24th. It was all the way down in 8th, 156 points behind the leader. But in the next 5 races, he had 5 straight top 2 finishes, and going into the finale, he was 63 points above second place and only needed an 11th place finish, and he would go on to finish 9th and win that season's championship. For me, what is the most impressive thing about this season is how far behind he was and the resiliency to go out there and finish top 2 5 races in a row, and ultimately claim the championship. Worst, Bill Rexford, 1950. For those of you that don't know the story of the 1950 season, let me break it down. After 8 races, Lee Petty sat 3rd in points and was running well, and up to that point he had 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s. At that point he was a championship favorite and was catching the leader fast. But after race 8 at Rochester, he was penalized for competing in a non-sanctioned NASCAR race and was stripped of all his points, basically handing the title to Bill Rexford, who didn't have a bad season, but was nowhere near the level of Petty. Lee Petty went on to finish 3rd in the standings but was left with nothing. To this day, it seems as if NASCAR is trying their best to exclude Bill Rexford from the record books, as he is the only retired champion that is not even in the Hall of Fame, and he still isn't even on the ballot. Best, Martin Truex Jr. 2017. In 2017, MTJ was just simply on another planet. In the regular season, he led in almost every statistical category and went into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. Everyone thought that in the playoffs he might slow down a little bit, just due to the massive advantage he had over the rest of the field. But Truex did the exact opposite. In the final 10 races, Truex had 9 top 5s and 4 wins, the last of which being his championship win at Homestead. The fascinating thing about this season is just how dominant he really was. The closest anyone got to him was Kyle Larson, but no one could match him. He led every statistical category: wins, top 5s, top 10s, stage wins, laps led, and average finish. Just simply dominant. Worst, Kyle Busch 2015. In 2015, Kyle Busch won 5 races. He had a stellar chase run, made the final 4, and ultimately won the championship. But the elephant in the room has to be the fact that Busch missed almost a third of the 2015 season due to an injury in an Xfinity race. Now sure, the story of his title-winning season is absolutely remarkable, and I have a ton of respect for what he did. But a lot of people in the industry have a massive asterisk next to his name in 2015, and I completely understand it. The driver who should have won this championship, I would say, is a coin toss between Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano. Harvick was really consistent all season long and finished 2nd to Busch in the finale. Logano had a late season charge, but that was blown up by Matt Kenseth in a blown tire at Texas. But if I had to pick one, I would say Kevin Harvick. Best, Kyle Larson 2021. Kyle Larson's 2021 season was nothing short of astonishing. Going into 2021, Larson hadn't been in Cup in almost a year. Everyone expected at best a 2-win season and maybe a round of 8 appearance. But in 2021, Larson dominated the season. He won 10 races, something that hadn't been done since 2007, and likely won't be done again. Larson also broke the single season record for most laps led in a 36 race season, with 2,581. The most astonishing thing about Kyle Larson's 2021 season is that it just seemed like he was in contention to win almost every race, and the stats back this up. Larson led laps in 25 out of the 36 races run that season, and led the most laps in 14 of those races. Just truly dominant, and it's probably something that won't be done again. Worst, Ryan Blaney 2023. Now Ryan Blaney just happens to be one of those champions that was irrelevant for the entire regular season, but caught fire in the last 6 races and managed to claim the championship. Now Blaney's 2023 season isn't bad by any means, but at the end of the season, everyone just felt disappointed and just felt like someone else may have deserved it more. And one thing that caught my eye was that he didn't lead the series in any statistical category. Heck, he wasn't even in the top 5 of any category. And he also now holds the record of the worst average finish by a champion ever. But the driver that probably should have been champion was William Byron. Byron led the series in wins, top 5s, top 10s, was second in laps led, and had the best average finish of anyone in the Cup Series in 2023. Best, Jeff Gordon, 1998. Now if you don't know about Gordon's 98 season, let me break it down. In 1998, there were only 33 races run. Gordon won 13 of them. But unlike most seasons like this, Gordon wasn't a hit-or-miss driver in 98. He finished the season with 20 straight top 10 finishes, 19 of which were top 5s, and 10 of them were wins. Gordon had finished the season with a stat sheet like this: 13 wins, 26 top 5s, 28 top 10s, 1,717 laps led, and a 5.7 average finish. This is one of those seasons that just seemed like Gordon was in a video game and set the difficulty on the lowest setting. And what makes this season even more impressive is that the driver that finished second that season, Mark Martin, also had a season close to this. Martin had 7 wins, 22 top 5s, 26 top 10s with 1,730 laps led, and an 8.6 average finish. This to me is what makes Gordon 98 season so impressive. He had to beat someone else's career season just to make one of his own and win the title. Worst, Chase Elliott 2020. Now from a statistical standpoint, Elliott's 2020 season is not bad and is actually a solid season. But the problem with this championship season is not who won it, it's more like who didn't win it. Elliott himself recorded 5 wins, 15 top 5s, 22 top 10s, and an 11.7 average finish. All of those are really good numbers. The problem that I and a lot of other fans have is that Kevin Harvick wasn't the one holding the Bill France Cup at the end of the season. Harvick had what is definitely an all-time elite season. 9 wins, 20 top 5s, 27 top 10s, 1,531 laps led, and a 7.3 average finish, which is the best in almost 15 years. But as we all know, Harvick didn't even have a shot at the championship in the end. In my opinion, this is the most egregious non-title winner in NASCAR history, just due to the fact that Kevin Harvick was head and shoulders above everyone else and didn't even have a shot in the end. Now nothing against Elliott, at the end of the day, he won the title fair and square and he is a deserving champion. But you just can't deny the season that Kevin Harvick had in 2020. Best, Dale Earnhardt 1994. Dale Earnhardt is absolutely legendary. 76 wins, 7 championships. He has done it all. But the season that I want to look at is 1994. In 94, Earnhardt was simply on another level. Earnhardt recorded 4 wins, 20 top 5s, 25 top 10s, 1,013 laps led, and an 8th place average finish. Earnhardt was so dominant this season, he gained the lead at the 19th race of the season at the inaugural Brickyard 400 and never looked back. In the last 12 races of that season, Earnhardt recorded 1 win in Rockingham, 9 top 5s, and 10 top 10s. And because of Earnhardt's unmatched consistency, he locked up the championship 2 races early. What's really impressive about this season is that Earnhardt wasn't flashy and only recorded 4 wins. But just by him being consistent, he was able to win his 7th and final championship in his career. Worst, Jimmie Johnson 2016. Now while Jimmie Johnson's 2016 season is historic for obvious reasons, it is also arguably the worst championship season in NASCAR history. Now early in the season, Johnson was pretty solid. After 13 races, he had 2 wins, 5 top 5s, and 7 top 10s, and was third in points. But for the remaining 13 races of the regular season, Johnson only recorded 3 top 10s and only 1 top 5, and had 5 finishes outside the top 30, and dropped as far as 11th in points. But as Jimmie Johnson always did, he persevered and woke up in the last 10 races, recording 3 wins, 4 top 5s, and 7 top 10s. And in that attrition-filled championship race, Jimmie managed the unthinkable and won his 7th championship. But the problem with this season is just the lack of consistency. Jimmie only had 16 top 10s all year and had a 14.0 average finish, which was at the time the worst average finish by a champion ever until 2023. Now the driver who should have won this championship was Kevin Harvick. Harvick was the most consistent driver all year long, and while only having 4 wins, Harvick had 27 top 10s and a 9.9 average finish. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and drop a comment below whether you agree or disagree. Also, like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time for another video. Y'all have a good one.